Welcome back to another episode of FinanciallyForeverAfter.com. I am here, Brett, the moneymaker Shunkwiler, with a guest today. We have Rachel Pustovit. She is my COO, Chief Operating Officer. Usually, obviously, Lindsay is here, much more adorable to look at than my face here. She's not in today, but we have Rachel. We have a guest today, so I'm sure Lindsay will be doing some episodes. Well, she'll have a guest as well, and I won't be on it. But for today, welcome, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining the show.
Just excited. Yeah. This is a lot different than watching it.
Yes.
Right?
Very much true.
And listening.
Yeah. So what's going on in your world, Rachel?
Well, a lot of the same, but some new things that have occurred is the Chiefs lost. Right? I am a football fan, so Chiefs lost, a little upsetting, but what is a little more upsetting is my 11-year-old son, Liam. He switched boats, switched teams, literally the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he wanted an Eagles jersey, and we did get that for him because he does chores and all that stuff, but he wore that in a room full of Chiefs fans. And I let him know. I said, okay, like, it's fine. Not really. But when you walk into this house, which is all family, you're going to get roasted. It's going to happen. And I can't protect you from this.
Yeah. There's
some things that you cannot save them from. And I'm not going to save you from being an Eagles fan. So. Go Chiefs.
Well, you know, the week before, or actually a couple weeks before, I felt the pain of loss to your team because I'm a Bills fan, and we have this inter-office turmoil. Granted, Rachel and I get along pretty well, but Eric, another one of our advisors, he's a big Chiefs fan, and he's trying to tell me that, you know, Allen didn't make it on the fourth down. I'm like, he made it on the third and the fourth down, just for the record. But anyway, I'm not still bitter. It's all good. It's all good. But today, anyway, getting back to it, today, Rachel is going to actually ask me some of the questions that Lindsay usually asks, like, hey, some of the relationship stuff going on these days, and, you know, what are some of the terms, and, you know, all the stuff that I don't know. And Lindsay constantly is telling me about that, you know, hey, no, you don't know anything. Here's what it is. So, Rachel, what do you got for us today?
All right. The first one. Do you know what breadcrumbing is?
Breadcrumbing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in regards to current environment, breadcrumbing means, you know, somebody's taking the last little bits. So how would that be for a relationship? Maybe you're giving the meat of what you have throughout the course of your day, like work-wise or something else of that nature. But then, you know, when you're actually in your relationship, you're just kind of giving the crumbs. Like, you're just giving a little bit of it. So that would be my guess.
Okay. Well, the definition is when someone sends intermediate messages, flirts, or makes plans that seldom materialize with the intent to keep someone interested without committing. Like little crumbs. Breadcrumbing, leaving little crumbs.
Okay.
So like somebody still, you know, wants a bite.
So what you're saying is, okay, I'm in a relationship, and obviously I'm happily married to my wife, Lindsay, but in a relationship that I'm dating somebody, and they're leaving crumbs saying like, yeah, you might want to date me. You might want to date me. You might want to date me, but then never actually dating them?
Well, these crumbs of attention can lead the receiver to believe that a relationship might develop, although the other party might not have any serious intentions.
Okay.
So you're leaving a breadcrumb.
So you're leading them on.
Leading them on. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we are not mice. You know, we don't want the little breadcrumbs or the leftovers. And that's what some people do. They lead you on.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, for those people.
It sucks for the people having the breadcrumbing happening to them.
Oh, yeah. But then they're suckers, like mice, keep going back to the traps.
Okay.
For the peanut butter. They keep going back for the crumbs.
They're going back for the peanut butter.
Yeah, so stop going back for the crumbs.
Stop going back for the crumbs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, breadcrumb.
Okay.
That's your new term of the day. All right, what else we got? That's one.
Okay, so relationship-wise, what is mooning?
What is mooning?
Yes. What is mooning?
Okay, so I remember mooning as, so back in the day, some of my buddies, my brother and two of my buddies, we were on the Strip in Grand Island.
Okay.
And then
sounds
he
accurate.
as you're driving around, with high school or whatnot, and he's like, he gave them a moon. So
Okay.
that's
the other type of mooning. Relationship-wise.
relationship mooning.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to say you did something that kind of made somebody mad. Like you made them mad, so they just shunned you. Something of that nature.
Okay. Mooning refers to using the do not disturb feature on one's phone to ignore someone's calls or messages without the sender knowing. It is a way to avoid communication without confrontation or the other person realizing they're being ignored. So like kind of like ghosting.
Kind of, yeah, you're ghosting them. So did they ever get back?
Well, it doesn't say. And I've never been mooned.
That you know of.
That I know of. Well, true. Because it does say that you don't know.
It's like mooning, you just don't know.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Okay. All
That's
right.
that's nice.
That's another relationship term. All right. What else we got?
If you do not know this one, I have to say there might not be any hope for you.
Okay. What do we got?
Situationship.
Situationship. Okay. So it would have to be, obviously, situation makes sense. So based on this situation, you decide to date them or not date them?
Expand. I don't, what situation?
Maybe you're already involved with another relationship and you might want to date another person based on who you like better. I don't know.
Okay. So a situationship is a casual relationship that hasn't been clearly defined. Often both people engage in romantic activities without the commitment typical of a serious relationship. So this can be appealing for those seeking flexibility, but confusing if one party desires more of a commitment. I do know some people that are in situationships. You know who you are.
I want to know, like who makes up these terms? Who's just like laying around like, you know what? I'm going to combine a couple words together to make a new word.
Well, it's kind of like
What the heck?
the kids these days. Oh my goodness, I have reached that level of adulthood. I said kids these days. But you asked this question and it's kind of like, their terms. Wait, where does, oh, you look like a drip. Liam literally the other day was like, he put his clothes on and he's like, I look like a drip. Do you know what that means? Like
A drip? Like maybe he's a stud or something.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. Like, I guess you're a drip now. So, I mean, yeah, where do these words come from? They're just...
So maybe like Riz, my son's like, hey, do you got the Riz? And I'm like, all right, what's the Riz? He's like, you got it going on. I'm like, all right, you say so, buddy. Like,
sure.
All right, you got the Riz.
The Riz.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Is that everything? You got anything else for us?
One more.
Okay, one more.
I think you guys do 4, right?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Change it up based on the day, but it's fine.
Okay. What does it mean in a relationship if somebody is thirsty?
Ooh. Thirsty. Okay, well, I would say they would want some mommy daddy time, and that's where I would go with it. Now,
Yeah.
I doubt that's the case since you're bringing up this question. No, you're not my wife on this. So, thirsty, they want more. I would say that they want more than where they're at right now. Maybe like they're on base 1 or base 2 and they want to go to third base, fourth base.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's why as it was coming out of my mouth, I'm like, okay, this should be interesting. Anyway, so it's calling someone thirsty implies that they are desperately seeking attention or approval, particularly in a romantic or social context. I've heard thirsty be used in multiple different scenarios, not just relationships.
Okay.
But it often carries a negative connotation, suggesting that the person's efforts are too obvious or excessive.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, I've heard people like, oh, I'm thirsting for more, like they want more knowledge or they want more something of other. So, all right.
Just desperate, like thirsty. They're thirsty.
Thirsty.
It has many meanings.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Yeah, those are the words of this podcast.
Those are the words of the day, the relationship words of the day. All right. Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
And if you got new words that you want to comment on and say, hey, I'm going to combine two words together like whoever is making this stuff up, go to financially and the number 4, financiallyforeverafter.com, or you can find us where? Where can you find us, Rachel? On what?
YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So on to the financial portion.
Okay.
Usually I do the financial portion, obviously owning Shunkwiler Financial, being a retirement advisor, things of that nature. But you're my COO. You're on my team. You're my COO, Chief Operating Officer. You do lots of things, obviously, from an operational standpoint, but also you do a lot of stuff on the marketing front.
I do.
So on the marketing front, we want to talk to anybody right now that has, a business or anybody that just wants to say, hey, how do I get better on either the social media or the digital realm or anything? So from your standpoint, Rachel, what's the niche that we have at Shunkwiler Financial? Like, what do you focus on when you're thinking about marketing?
My greatest focus and ultimately first is our clients and loving on them. So I think if you have that as your foundation, that helps with everything else. When I came into Shunkwiler Financial, I really saw that the clients interacted with you and Lindsay and the family as a family. And so that basically is what I focus on in order to do other things as far as marketing goes.
Okay. Sounds good. Good enough. I like it. All right. So good niche there. So from a marketing mastery standpoint, what would be some good steps to take in regards to, all right, well, social media is a big one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you recommend for somebody that's, maybe number one, been in the industry for a while, whatever industry that is, right? It could be, you own a hair salon, you own a chiropractic place, like your parents, right?
Yeah,
own a chiropractic place. Like, what would be good to market for that? What would be good to market for a financial advising company? What maybe a company that's been around a long time, and then maybe a company that's just getting started. So let's start with the company that's maybe been around a long time. What would you offer up for marketing mastery or digital? Like, what would you think would be something good for them to do?
So again, it goes back to loving on your people, because you can't be around unless you have your people. So figuring out what makes them tick, not just sending out blanket marketing to your whole crowd. Sending out things that are specific to your people's interest. So whether it's a client or, in a chiropractic office, in any place really, it just really comes down to figuring out what makes them tick. So you can take advantage of that. If you are digital, you can make forms and send it out to your email list, and have your clients or whoever they may be, customers, patients, fill out a getting to know you form. So again, you can do this digitally. If you're not in the digital realm, that's okay too. That's what paper's for. Old school paper. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that as well. So we actually do both here. We send out a digital email in a format that asks them where they like to vacation, their favorite quote, what drinks they like, what snacks they like, interesting facts about them, so that we can get to know our clients more. And then when they come in, we do look to see if they have that completed. We send that out a couple times a year to our client list, and then any new client actually gets that as part of their onboarding. So again, you can do that via email, digitally wise, or when they come in, you can take advantage of that by doing it old school on paper and then putting that into their file.
That's a good idea. I know one of the things that we did here at Shunkwiler Financial in the past is we did a survey, right?
Yes.
And we actually did a client-wide survey for 1,000 plus clients. And say, all right, well, what are we doing really, really well right now? And then the other thing is like, what do we struggle at?
Mm-hmm.
What do we struggle at? What do we need to get better at? And they'll be 100% brutally honest, because it's like it's a survey and it's done by a third party as they're looking at it and they're seeing it. And you don't have to spend tons of money. Like you can use SurveyMonkey or other things of that nature these days to make it easier. But just getting that feedback can then help you develop on how to actually get better. So
sure.
I love that we done that in the past, and you actually taking it to another level. Say, hey, we got that information. Now, as they come in, hey, we can have your favorite drink. We can have your favorite candy bar. We can have that. So anything that you can really personalize that. I love that you kind of taking it to another level. So that's a lot of times for businesses that are well established, but businesses that are just starting, like, hey, I only have me and maybe one other employee or two other employees. Like, what would you recommend for something, or for somebody that might be in that situation?
Well, I still feel like when you are starting up, just make sure that you start up with that getting to know you form in any capacity that you can. Reach out to them and make sure that you are loving on them. Let them know that they're valued. But then also you can, if you're small, just starting out, maybe you don't have the funds for large events, and that's okay. But you can do micro events. So we do a mixture of both here at Shunkwiler Financial. We do large events for our clients. We have 1,200, 1,300 clients. But again, maybe you're just starting out, Shunkwiler Financial started out, right, with your very first client. So let's say you even have 20, 25 clients, and as you grow, getting to know what they like. So in that form, maybe they like to read books. So, and you don't have to have a big place either. We're talking, it could be an office, a small office room where you host them coming in and doing a book club. You don't even have to really be present, right? Just let them have the space. A lot of times people just need space to have these clubs, and then they find community and they find other people that love what you like, right? They love Shunkwiler Financial, or they love what services you provide. And then you take it a step further and you ask them to bring somebody that might benefit from your services, or even if not, that's fine, but it creates more exposure.
Yeah. So one of the things that, we've done in the past, and I really think as you're listening right now, you're like, hey, I have a business, or even you just like want to hang out with more friends and do other things. What we've done is we say, hey, these events that we do, what would you want to go to? Right? What type of event would you want to go to? And then create an event like that. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I want to go to a football party. Okay, well, I have a football party. We've done that before. Hey, I love playing in a cornhole tournament. A lot of my clients do. Then you play in a cornhole tournament.
Yep.
Or, having a Christmas party. We have a Christmas party every single year with music and entertainment and food and drink and all that stuff. But, what would you want to go to? And then develop something around that, because people want to hang out with their friends.
Yeah.
And they'll bring friends to, stuff that they want to hang out with, because they're like, hey, I want to hang out with, you and your husband, or, just some other friends that you have. And it's a great way to help build up your company, whatever that company may be. So any other last tips that you have for today, Rachel, on marketing or digital marketing, or anything else you got that you want to add in for all the listeners out there?
Couple things.
All right, couple things. All right.
Didn't know that I would be this, talkative.
Okay.
Right? Use AI. Bard.com is one. You can use AI to help you do turnkey things.
Okay.
And then also another thing, going back to the events that you host, whether they're micro events or large events, make sure that you are capitalizing on your clients loving the fact that you just had this bomb party, right? Bomb.com. I'm aging myself here. Trying to fit in with you.
Oh my gosh.
But
age, yeah. She always likes to say I'm the old one here.
Yes.
So I am, but it's fine.
Just by a little bit. But anyways, going back to it, ask for Google reviews if you can.
Oh, good call. Yeah,
So-
Google reviews, they've actually helped us out a ton.
They really have. And then you have organic calls coming in, don't cost anything. And you're getting those by simply asking the people that you serve. And specifically after you do these events, when they're happy and are happy to give you that review.
So one thing I'm going to add on that you actually spurred in my mind was one thing that you created, and actually I think Emma created this, is we have a QR code that they can scan, because you want to be as easy as possible. You want this to be as easy as possible for them.
For the Google review.
For the Google review. So we just did like, I don't know, what is it, 1.5 inch by like 2 or 3 inches, and put it on there and say, hey, if you like what we've done, just take your phone, scan that real quick. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a quick review, telling us how we did, that would be awesome. And it helps. It's so easy. So you can do that, with AI these days, you can figure out how to do it. You can ask how to do it, but that would be a great way to help, build up the business or whatnot. So,
definitely.
any other last comments? Any other great pieces of advice?
I think that's it for now.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being our first official guest on financiallyforeverafter.com, a love and money podcast where we talk about relationships and we also talk about finances so we can show you the money. But anyway, thank you for joining us, Rachel. Once again, you can find us where?
On financiallyforeverafter.com,
as well as
YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes.
Oh, hot dang. We're adding more and adding more all the time. So
lots of places.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, have a great one.